I am in the business of 100% saying yes, right? Meaning that I'm willing to try anything as long as it fits inside of my box and seems like a decent strategy for my company before I say no, it's not a good idea. And I think a lot of people have that reversed. They hear some new strategy or somebody gives them a new idea and they immediately default to no, that's not going to work without ever testing it, right? So they're in the business of saying no. When in reality, everybody who's watching this needs to be in the business of saying yes, meaning that you need to be not only open to new ideas, but be willing to try out new things in your business and be willing to let it fail. Be willing to let that idea not work, but guess what? Then you'll have more data on what potentially might work in the future. So a lot of the times, again, when I tell someone who's a business owner that, hey, you need to be producing content 5 to 7 times on LinkedIn that's relevant to your ideal buyer or your ideal end user, they look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, hey, LinkedIn is a place for resumes and a place for job seeking, but it's just a reality of them not adjusting to the times. And so you have to be willing to say yes and try things before saying no. And I think, again, a lot of people are in the business of saying no because they have this predetermined justification in the back of their head that's based on some arbitrary data that they got from a previous experience that says, you can't produce LinkedIn content, John. LinkedIn is a resume place or a job seeking place. When in the reality, times have changed, like I said. So be in the business of saying yes. Say yes to new opportunities. Try new things for your business. If you think it has any potential upside, be willing to try and be willing to fail because sometimes it's going to fail. So as long as you're willing to say yes and figure it out later, you're going to get a lot more opportunity on the back end. And again, it involves taking a little risk. So take that risk, say yes, and then figure out what works best and be always willing to innovate in the favor of your own business.